As we go into 2025, the odds of Elon Musk and Tesla going bust and bankrupt will dramatically increase by orders of magnitude. Remember, Elon Musk has partnered with Donald Trump, who's absolutely the master of bankruptcies. And I want to go through all the details of what's going on, and let's jump right in. So, these are the headlines coming out just the last couple of weeks. Out of control Tesla rams cars on motorway in China. This is on December 9th. Basically, a car goes nuts, crashes a bunch of other cars. You also got this. I think this was Australia. Also on December 9th, watch out of control Tesla crashes through parking lot. Then you have this, December 7th, fatal Tesla Cybertruck crash that killed 3 students, leads to probe from NHTSA. And this just coming out today, parents killed in fiery Tesla crash, leaving behind 2 children just before Christmas. And you also got a bunch of lawsuits. Essentially, this is what's going to happen. And I want to go through so many things because I think the Tesla fanboys and fangirls basically hide stuff from you all the time. And to be perfectly frank, they're paid to do that. Now, what's going on is Tesla basically are unsafe. They're releasing a robot driving thing that's not ready. And essentially, Tesla went cheap on their designs because all of the other car manufacturers are like, you know what? We want to make these things safe. We got to use sensors. Elon Musk is like, you know what? If we want to keep our profit margins, we got to remove the sensors because they cost too much money. But ultimately, these things are dangerous. So now what's happening is that Tesla is and Elon Musk is pressuring Donald Trump to remove any kind of reporting on crash data, meaning that they want to hide the numbers from you. The funny thing about this stuff is you don't even have to be on the road to have a problem with your Tesla. If you guys saw this, this was back in October. Tesla catches fire in garage, burns down house after flooding from Hurricane Helene. It's gotten so bad, this whole situation with Tesla, that people have been dropping like flies in terms of their employees leaving the company. This is just coming out today. Tesla's China factory head, Song Gong, set to depart this week. And then you got Elon Musk. This is how he responds to this kind of stuff. Waiting for 690 42 cents. Musk says, at some point in the future, I think it will happen. That's on December 17th. And Mari replies, I have no doubt about it. Basically, whenever you mention any kind of unsafe mechanisms with Tesla or bad technology, all the stock promoters and Elon Musk will say, whoa, but look at the stock price. I must be right. Look at the stock price. Elon Musk must be a genius, right? This is all based on hype. This is based on stock pumping, and essentially we're looking at Tesla trading like a cryptocurrency. If you want to look for Wall Street, what they're saying, because essentially, like, remember Elon Musk's wealth is basically based on the price of the stock. Mizuho and Wedbush, basically what they said, Mizuho came out and said, okay, we think Tesla stock's going to go to the moon because essentially Musk is buddies with Trump and Trump is going to lighten regulations. That's basically what this is all about, okay? Wedbush says the same thing. They say, hey, yeah, Musk and Trump are buddies. Regulations are going to be loosened, and suddenly all these robot cars are going to be on the road. Absolutely fantastic. But I want you guys to think about this for a second here, okay? We know that Tesla cars are unsafe. We know that they went cheap on their designs. And essentially, let's say in this magical world that Trump removes all regulations and gets more and more and more robot driving Teslas on the road. What do you think is going to happen? What do you think is going to happen? I'll tell you. More people are going to get hurt. Unfortunately, more people are going to get killed. And the lawsuits are going to pour in like nuts. That is not something that the Tesla fanboys and fangirls are talking about, but this is very, very real. And I don't think Trump can protect Musk from like multiple lawsuits. Guys, and you know this. I know you know this. If you lose a family member and it turns out that Elon Musk had something to do with it regarding their technology, unsafe cars, poor designs, etc., you don't forget about that kind of thing. And the more of these cars get on the road, you got more angry families at you. This is a very real thing. And even Donald Trump doesn't want to be associated with that. And like, there's a lot of things I don't like about Donald Trump, but I think he's smart enough to be like, you know what? Hanging out with Elon Musk long-term is toxic. Now, at the moment, Trump's not really thinking that far ahead, right? He just doesn't think about anything. He's like, okay, what do you want, Elon? Elon's like, well, we just don't want to report crash data. And like, you know, Trump doesn't know anything about anything. So he's like, okay, fine. And then regardless of the crash data or not, right? We're still going to get these like real families who are going to want to sue Tesla. So you're going to have that. So it's very interesting that all the Wall Street is pumping you deregulation as being a good thing about putting more Teslas with AI on the road or whatever they're trying to sell you. but because I see that as like accelerating Tesla's demise. The other thing they're trying to sell you on Wall Street is like, yeah, Elon Musk's going to sell you a bunch of robots who are going to serve drinks at your home. And honestly, guys, for many Americans that are living paycheck to paycheck, do you really think they're going to spend $30,000 or $40,000 or most likely $100,000 because Musk has promised you these things are going to be like 30, but it's probably going to be like 100 or whatever, just to serve drinks at your home, right? And you remember too, Donald Trump promised all of these out of work factory workers that are going to go, work at the factory, and Elon Musk is building these robots to replace said factory workers. That's not going to go over well with anyone. No one wants these things. No one's asking for them. And yet the Tesla stock promoters are like, oh yeah, we're all going to buy robots. We're all going to be driving robot cars. But I'm telling you guys, this is going to lead to more and more lawsuits. This is going to expose Tesla. And you have this, and this is sort of why I'm showing you guys all these things that are just stacking up. It keeps getting more and more worse for Musk. Recently, the Wall Street Journal just a report essentially saying that Donald Trump will probably give Musk a top secret security clearance. And, the more that this kind of news comes out, this is actually now from the New York Times. They talked to a whole bunch of insiders at SpaceX, and they're basically saying Musk has been skirting the security clearance rules for a long time, and like we just can't stand it anymore. And so now there are 3 federal probes to Musk and how they handle secret data. And this could get really, really bad for Musk. He also talks to Putin all the time, which we guys know. There are probes into that. And now we have, and this is all coming out recently, Senator Warren is saying, yo, Musk, you need to basically, and actually talking to Trump, you need to deal with Musk's conflicts of interest when he's dealing with the government. Meaning that, and this is a normal thing for normal people who, work in government or whatever, is like normally you don't, manage your businesses and also to do regulations that have conflict of interest with your said businesses. I mean, you guys all know this. Now, Trump and Musk's reply was basically just to call her Pocahontas. That's all they can do to reply because they know she's right, and we all know she's right. I mean, the basic gist of it is that Musk is essentially in a position to benefit his own companies through government corruption. And yet all the Tesla stock boys and fangirls, right, all the ones that are cheering them on, are like, yeah, corruption, woohoo. But like, guys, even if Musk gets all these contracts and even if they get all that crap on the road or whatever, more and more people get hurt. The more Elon has influence to get his technology out there, the more people get hurt. They think the opposite. They think, oh, well, that people just don't know how awesome Musk is, etc. Guys, people are getting hurt today. The lawsuits are already coming in. If this expands, just expect more lawsuits. This is going to be the end of him, I'm telling you. Then you got this. They're also Vivek and Musk. They're looking at, guys, you know what? We gotta like figure out how to cut as many jobs as we possibly can from the government, because I just hate federal workers. I hate the post office, right? I hate the consumer protection. I hate labor laws, all this stuff. Guys, more lawsuits are going to pour in. Think of all the federal workers that are going to be like, you can't fire me, right? They're going to be suing. Think of the people that then get hurt from the lack of federal employees that are supposed to be, protecting said people's, be it labor, right, issues, be it consumer protection issues, whatever. I'm just, via environmental issues, right? They'll be like, why did you let, this company poison our water, etc.? Where was our protections, right? There's going to be more and more lawsuits related to this stuff. It's going to get really ugly. And it's funny because like everyone's celebrating that, whatever, anything that Elon Musk touches turns to gold. It's not like that. That what everything that Elon Musk does is more like pump and dumps, right? He promises you a whole bunch of stuff, he doesn't deliver, and he just runs away with the money. And then he promises you something else again, and people keep going along with it. Why? Because he's really good at the circus. That's Elon Musk's special skill. He's really good at the circus. But at this particular stage in the game, I think the circus is finally going to be ending. And unfortunately, all of the people who went to the circus are going to be like, you know what? I want my money back. You got this. This is the SEC's after him for the Neuralink thing. We're going to see how that resolves. They're bleeding users on Twitter as Blue Sky and Threads pick up space. So essentially, he's losing money over there. And then now what he's talking about is getting more and more involved in UK politics. What's that going to do to Musk's reputation there? And I keep telling you guys stuff like this guy is just like all over the map here. And he's continuing to sue OpenAI because he's falling behind there. Basically what's going on is like Musk needs an exit plan. He knows that this is the end of Tesla because they're not even talking about putting out new cars. You know what they're talking about? They're talking about robots and robotaxis. They're not talking about putting out an affordable car. They're talking about robots and robotaxis. It's so ridiculous. And moreover, Musk is trying to start this new company called XAI because he knows that's where the hype is. That's where the next, sort of pumping up is. And got to get that money when you possibly can. So he's trying to sue OpenAI to catch up. And then you got this. And I mentioned this before on the channel, but this is sort of what Musk is thinking is he's like, you know what? I need a bunker just in case everything goes wrong, right? I need a place to play my video games, to be with my many wives, make sure my cult still loves me, and I guess hang out with all my kids and make sure they worship me because when in doubt, if everyone in the world hates me, at least my kids like me. Well, actually, I already know one hates him, but at least the other kids like him, and who knows what else is up to. But I just had to share all this stuff going on because I think when you put it all together, and then we haven't even talked to. I thought it was more. We haven't even talked about his substance abuses, right? You have that issue. You also got his issue with like he's got custody battles with various women that he's has kid with. It's the list goes on, and I'm sure there's stuff that we don't even know about, which we're probably going to find out soon. But this is the kind of world that we're in. And then for whatever reason, people actually think, wow, this guy's a genius, and I want to be just like this guy. But guys, this is not going to end well for him. There's just too many things going on, and like I said, I see a future of lawsuits after lawsuits after lawsuits after lawsuits. So that's what I see in store for Tesla, Musk, and his companies going forward. Please share your thoughts on this. What do you think? And I'll catch you in the next video.